Hello, welcome to the Wilderness Bog Garden. We have been doing lots of work in here. We have raked off the whole meadow, trimming it and pulling it or raking it all off, just so it can reform every year. So, because it is grass meadow which grows up. We have lots of flowers in this garden, which are mainly daffodils, snowdrops, fritillaria. We also have a royal fern. That big brown lump behind me will regenerate, and that'll be sort of 6 to 7 feet high, with beautiful flowers and fronds on it. The snowdrops come back every year. There was 50 varieties of daffodil in the garden originally, which we're now trying to return to. We have some, but not all of them at the moment. The sphagnum moss in the garden is very important because it holds up to 30 to 40% of its own weight in water. As it breaks down, it then rots into the soil and you create more of a swamp area, more of a bog area, which is why it's so important for it. The bog garden is a very important interest because it's one of the last remaining acid bogland areas in this area of England. This is the azalea and rhododendron walkway which has been created in the wilderness garden. It will be a scented garden, a scented walkway. We have included in the garden lily of the valley, rhododendrons, azaleas, a whole load of ferns and other plants as well, also just to create a scented garden which will be in full flower in the spring. The whole area will eventually be just colourful in the spring and summer. There is a river that runs through the wilderness which feeds the bog garden. We've discovered this and its exact location by trying to plant some trees, and the holes actually filled up with water, so it's no good. But this whole area, you can actually see the river. It's just on the surface. When it rains very, very hard, you can actually see it because it rises and you can see it. These large puddles are where the river runs. If you dig just below the surface in the middle of summer, there is water there as well. The river is only visible in the winter because of so much rainfall. You can see these puddles here, and that's how it's been located. The river is a lifeline for the bog. It is always here, it's always under the ground, which is why the bog stays wet most of the year round. But in the summer, it goes to a lower level and disappears. Next time you see us in the summer, this won't be here. You'll just have grassland. We may have some wet plants around here, some water, some royal ferns in the garden, etc. Just to this area. We may be planting a water kind of a garden all the way through the garden, just to represent the river. So that's the Wilderness River. It does run through the garden. You can see it now. Hopefully in the summer it will dry out. It normally does, but this is what feeds the bog down the bottom. So hopefully next time we see you, that this will be bone dry and all grassland. I look forward to welcoming you here in the summer, or a bit later, spring and early summer, when this will be all in flower. There'll be a lot more going on in the wilderness as well, everywhere else, including all these grassland areas which we've now seeded. They'll start to emerge and we'll have large swathes of grassland right the way through the garden. So I'll see you later. Ciao, ciao.